3, 2, 1.
What is going on, Southwest ISD? What is going on? Your favorite tag team duo is back in action. My name is Brandon Medina. That is your athletic director, Mr. Peter Wagner, and this is the Scoreboard podcast, where we talk all things Southwest ISD athletics. Today's a big show. We have regionals to talk about in different sports. We have some congratulations to go around, and we have playoffs beginning for a lot of big things happening here at Southwest ISD, as well as some normal beginnings for a few others. And so it's a packed time. Spring is here. Spring has sprung.
Spring has definitely sprung.
That's right. The cold weather has completely missed us once again. We don't know where it's at.
Till next week.
Till next week. We'll see. And even then, come on. It's not going to be like cold.
Yeah, it's still not very fun to set out at a soccer game when it's 44 degrees outside.
Sure enough. That is your athletic director, Mr. Peter Wagner's voice.
Hello, by the way.
This is Brandon Medina. Sir, how are we doing today?
Doing all right.
Yeah?
Doing all right.
Doing well?
It is definitely the spring season when everything is going on.
Your phone consistently is just going off the past few weeks. You come in, you got to take phone calls before we start. How busy is it for you? And then how busy is this in general compared to, I guess, other different time frames of seasons?
This is, like you said, and I remember we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the year. This is the busiest time of the year.
Bar none.
Bar none.
Really?
Yes. So, like, for instance, the week of February 20th, we will host a track meet. During that track meet, there will be a baseball game, a softball tournament, powerlifting meet, and possibly hosting a basketball game that week.
Oh, wow.
And we'll have playoffs that week, possibly.
All happening in that week.
All happening in that week. Not to mention soccer games going on that week. And
Nice.
literally everything that could be going on
is
pretty much going on.
Well.
So, yeah, it's a busy week. Those 2 weeks right up to spring break are they're pretty crazy.
Are games over spring break as well?
There are games over spring break.
So still not really like a
There's
complete
no
stop.
June is like the time where we don't host or have anything. That's
So June's your travel time.
July is like.
So June is when we'll see all the coaches at Disney and cruises and taking their vacation.
Yes.
That's when the coaches get a break.
That's it. And we're still doing 2.5 hours of strength and conditioning and things of that nature. Driving buses into workout and taking care of kids. It's 12 months a year, sometimes 24 hours a day.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, it's
If you're a track coach today, it's about a 17-hour day today.
Oh my goodness gracious! Well, speaking of track, let's talk a little bit about that. We are just getting started. We have our first relay today. Yep. Talk to me about the excitement around track and what you're hearing about.
Well, I mean, this is that first one, so it's kind of where is everybody at? We don't have everybody from basketball. You're still getting some of that stuff figured out. So it's more a matter of checking things out, making sure everybody stays healthy, get into shape, getting those first marks and things like that. So both the Titans and the Dragons are both at the Bernie Champion relays.
Nice.
And so they're gonna get some really good competition. See a couple of them be racing one of the top runners in the world and stuff, and the Leachman young lady from Champion. So that'll be pretty cool. But
did you say in the world?
Yes, she just
missed.
She was at the Olympic trials.
I just want to make sure you didn't say state.
No,
you didn't say in the nation. You said the world.
The world.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She's good. She's pretty good.
Yeah. Not something you see every day.
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
So some pretty good competition. Good way
some
to get started.
pretty good competition.
Well,
sure.
I mean, on the whole,
sure.
But excited about that. Excited about them. They got one this week. Then they're at Medina Valley next week, and then we go 2 weeks in a row. We go to Legacy, and then we go to Southwest.
Sweet.
And everything. So excited about those things. So track is sprung, and we're ready to roll.
And I'm not trying to at all make this a longer podcast, and you're gonna make it already. But just to make
why you always gotta hate like
not
that?
hating,
I'm just
dude.
trying to spread the word.
I just know you. But listen, let me ask, because I think if I'm a listener. And I tune in every week like so many other listeners do, right? Because of that.
Why are we both laughing?
No, I'm just stating the obvious that we have a huge track record of listeners. And with that, if I am.
What's up, Andy?
We always what's up, brother? We always mentioned that Medina Valley is not a part of our district play. However,
Yep.
you mentioned that we are going next week to Medina
Yeah,
Valley.
it's just like a
It's like a
non-district
friendly?
game. Yeah, it's like a non-district game.
So this
You
is
know
this
what I
is
mean?
this is okay. I just want to make
yeah,
sure. I
it's
just want to make sure that we're
nice and close.
in,
you know,
we're understanding what
Yeah.
counts, what is
Mhm.
getting practices in the scrimmages. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Alrighty, with
Yeah.
that,
I mean, we're okay with competing against them.
absolutely,
We have a pretty good track record.
we
lately
do,
against
we
them.
do. I was just curious because I was
I
like,
mean,
huh,
like they're like the biggest school in the world right now, but you know,
they're growing, they're
They are
growing, boy.
growing.
But I'll tell you what. When we talk about growing and growing pains and looking at different things, talk to me about basketball and the growth that you've seen this year, and also where we need to grow and
Yeah.
elsewhere.
So I think on the growing side of that wonderful segue is the girls. They're both Southwest has one senior, I think they had, and most of theirs are
crazy.
sophomores, freshmen, sophomores, a couple of juniors and things, and so lots of growth with Coach Villarreal coming in. Saw a lot of good things competition wise, and I think she's got a really good plan moving forward to continue that growth over the off season and things like that. Same thing at Legacy with Coach Hernandez. They literally don't have a senior.
Wow.
So they didn't have senior night. And, but they still got Garnell Zor coming back, who's already scored 1,000 points. You got Miracle and a few others, and some really talented freshmen. So I think they're excited about the continued growth of really rebuilding that program from when they had Ashley Corpus and others a few years ago with Coach Mack. And so excited about that growth. And when you get to the boys, it's a matter of growing towards the playoffs.
Sure.
And so the Dragons solidified their spot. They clinched their spot with a big win against McCollum, 15-point win against McCollum on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans played one of the top 5 teams in the state and lost by 13, but played a very good game. But that put them. They are one game back from the 4th spot. They play Southside on Friday night. They play, and they should win that game and then Harlandale should probably win their game against MacArthur, and so that sets up Tuesday night game, which is basically a playoff game.
Wow.
If the Titans win, they're in.
Yeah.
If the Indians win, they're in.
They're in.
That's
Wow.
it, and they become whoever wins that game becomes the 2 seed in Division II.
Gotcha.
And so it was a big deal on Tuesday night when the Titans lost, but Harlandale had a 15-point lead with a little over 2 minutes to go
They
against
lost
South San, and South San came back, went to overtime and beat them.
Insane.
If Harlandale wins that game, the
They're
Titans are done.
Yeah.
And so that
But
was
it makes for a good story for us on the podcast.
Once, yes,
Go ahead.
for once, hey, good job, South San.
There we go. South San.
Appreciate
Thanks.
you guys.
Yeah, thanks for helping us out. We appreciate
thanks
you.
that. Appreciate that. And so now that puts the
ball
Titans
is in the Titans' court.
See that? That's why we keep you around.
That's right.
So we're excited about that. I think Coach Stewart and I were talking. I think the Dragons would play either Monday or Tuesday night, and that would be the let's see, what is that, 10th, 11th? So that'd be either the 17th or 18th.
Okay.
They would play probably either Seguin or Highlands.
Okay.
Don't know where that's going to be yet, but and then the Titans, not really sure who they'll play right off the bat, but looking forward to that.
That's awesome, man. That's great.
Probably Jefferson, I think, is what we're looking at. But
and then
they got a lot of work to do before then.
You mentioned kind of growing, and then where there is the need for growth, where we are seeing growth. Let's talk a little bit about soccer, man. I mean, this is what a huge year this has been for soccer, and we had a Fire and Armor absolute incredible derby game on both sides. 2 games that were just awesome. And so talk to us a little bit about that, fill the people in, and then where that kind of leaves things in the balance for the future.
So the Dragons and Titan girls soccer game was phenomenal. Just going back and forth. You had Myra Medina hitting a free kick goal about 5 minutes into the second half. But the Titans actually outshot the Dragons. Had some pretty good goalkeeping going on, but had just a really good game, and 2 good teams. I think that are going to be playoff teams, but there's really 5 teams fighting for 4 spots, and they're all within about 3 points of each other.
kicks.
And so it's
Is it
really
scored
gonna,
like the professionals where it's 3 points per win, or
it's
is it,
3 points a win,
and then 1 point
it's
for a
1
draw?
point for a draw.
Okay, I just didn't
But
know if it was like that.
but now we do penalty kicks. And so the new thing that we do this year
What
is
do
you
you
get
mean?
3 for a win.
Okay,
If you win the game in penalty kicks, you get 2 points
instead of 3.
instead of 3. And if you
Wow.
lose the game
That's
in
tough.
penalty kicks,
You
you get the
deducted?
draw.
Oh.
You get the
Oh,
1.
1. Okay.
You get the 1 for the draw.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
made it very interesting when you look at how the points are
Close
going, because
games,
there's
yeah.
like one, people are like, you have like MacArthur on the boys' side has had like 2 or 3 PK wins.
So
And
instead of getting 6, they have 4.
Correct. Mhm.
Gotcha.
So that's interesting, and so I'm the girls game again is gonna be very interesting. But the Titans have a huge week on both sides. You know, they played the Dragons, and then they turn around, they got to play Jay, and so the boys will be the boys in Titanland will be the favorite probably
they're at
against
home?
Jay, but they're at home. But the girls will probably be the underdog, but
Playing
need to
away.
win the biggest.
But they play away.
Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row. They lost to McCullum, and then they lost to the Dragons, and so and they both won 0 games.
Wow.
You know what I
And
mean?
they started
and just-
undefeated too, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's like,
Well, and the good thing is they started undefeated, so they haven't really
yeah, it helps.
they haven't buried themselves
Sure.
in any way, shape,
Sure.
or form, and really those top 5 teams are beating each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be very interesting to see how
Well, it
the
sounds
girls'
like-
side goes. The boys' side, on the other hand, is what a game
Mhm.
in Fire and Armor. I mean, like, what a game. Am I right?
Every year, this game, I feel like it's closer and closer.
Yeah.
And then,
Uh-huh.
like you said last year, where you
Well, last year was 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
It was almost for sure going to be a
Well,
draw.
And you told us this year when we were talking about soccer, you said the one thing to remember is legacy's not far. Legacy's not far off of what we look at Southwest
Mhm.
and how we talk about the prestige and the culture they're building.
Mhm.
Legacy is in quick timing. I mean, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy, it's not like this isn't a school that has alumni in their 30s. This isn't
Mhm.
a school that has alumni in their 70s. This
Mhm.
is a new school
Yep.
with an alumni and games to prove it that they can compete in
Yep.
multiple different sports,
Well,
specifically now soccer.
right. I mean, we were literally within seconds of beating Alamo Heights in the
Yep.
playoff last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, Coach Sandoval and Coach Romero,
Awesome job.
just amazing job.
Yeah,
You know,
incredible.
and they great people, great job, things like that. But you know, they game planned really well. They executed their game plan really well. I was talking to Coach Romero this morning at Southwest. He's like, yeah, they executed the plan. They knew how to stop who they needed to stop, and they executed it.
happening.
And Narek is Lozano is a ridiculously good goalkeeper. I mean, like, he's probably won them a lot of their games, to include scoring a couple of times and stuff on his own free
Insane.
kicks. You know what I mean? So, he performed a phenomenal game on Tuesday night. So, but they got a big one against Jay, because, you know, soccer, you can keep them from scoring, you can be in, and you get the penalty kicks. It's literally a free for all, and so big game on Friday for the Titans, you know, and then the Dragons are in a spot where they just need to. I think that, you know, talking to Coach Romero, it's a deal where they were excited to be in a game, though.
Yeah.
He's like, it made our guys have to push. It made our guys have to deal with adversity. It made their guys have to
And
to
you
make
need
plays.
That. You need
Yes.
that.
And they need it, because if they don't get pushed, they're going to get pushed eventually.
You don't want to get
And
pushed
so-
at the wrong time. When it's,
And you don't want to get pushed and fall on your face in the middle of the playoffs when you should have been there, and
Mhm.
that hurts even more. So, I mean, you know, we were looking at it, if the Dragons and the Titans get in, and let's say it kind of goes to chalk for the most part, you'll have the Dragons and the Titans, 1 and 2, big in Division 1. Okay. And we were just kind of kicking it around. So more than likely, you would get the Titans would be playing somebody from SAISD, which they would be a favorite to win that
Okay.
and stuff, more than likely. which means they'd get their first by-district championship. But then they would play Leander Glenn, who's one of the better teams.
Sure.
But the Titans have played Lee, who's one of the top teams in the state. They played Southwest, who's one of the top teams in the state. And they played and they've competed. You know what I mean? And so they could beat Glenn. You know what I'm saying? And then they get Rivetta, which I think that they could. Here's our point: is
There could
what
come a point
what do we
where-
do? What do we do when the Titans and the Dragons are playing to go to state?
That's what I'm thinking. Because you just mentioned, I'm following. I'm going. That's 3 rounds right there. So this you're saying.
So in the 4th round, the regional finals,
that
we were
there
just
could be
messing
a
around.
possibility.
Yeah, we were just messing around. Like that, there's a lot
that
that has
could
to
happen,
happen.
sure.
There's a lot that has to happen to make that happen. But imagine, I was like, where would we play that game?
How does that work? Because obviously,
I was
This
like, we would
podcast-
not be able to fit them all into the complex.
no, that would be played. That has to be played at Titan Stadium and Dragon Stadium. It has to be played at a
I was like, I'll tell you what, we'll go neutral site. We'll play at McAuliffe.
there you go, there you go. Yeah,
But I mean, it's pretty fun little
that is. I mean, I'm also thinking
little
like
thought experiment. You know what I mean?
the amount of hype that would gain. I mean, it'd be unprecedented. We've never
Yeah,
because
the-
we've seen district championships on the line,
Mm-hmm.
right? You've seen playoff opportunities on the line. To go to state, to have both teams, I mean,
Playing each other,
as coaches, as an athletic director,
and then just
as
think,
a district,
just
you
think
got
of
to
what
just
those
go.
games have been like the last couple of years.
Well, you got to look at that and go, this is the height of athletics for a school district where you're going, hey, we're not only setting 1, we have 2 that have odds to go to a state championship. That's insane. That's incredible.
That would be that'd be insanity.
All right, well, we'll see, dude. You put it out there in the universe.
That-
You heard it here first. Mr. Peter Wagner did say we will have 2 teams fighting for a chance to go to state.
I said
and that they
that's a
will be
fun
playing at
thought
the Frostbank
experiment.
Center.
And they
We
will
are
be-
going to be renting
and
out
they
the
will-
Alamo Dome for this game as well.
That would be hilarious.
That'd
No,
be
actually,
insane.
I said we're gonna play it at McAuliffe, so it's in the middle.
It's in the middle. Yeah. And it's going to be a muddy game. Muddy and nasty. And yeah. that's
And
what we're
hot.
hot, yep. So all that good stuff. But that's awesome. Well, we talk about that. You talk about 2 programs who have now been built in a legacy and culture of winning and really encouraging students to see their potential. And then you look at the potential that we have with Unified Sports. Talk to me about the great things that they're doing and the potential of that program.
Talk about growth, right? So first of all, this is the first year where that we've played UIL unified
Competitive basketball.
Right. So when you do that, they take 1 team per district, per school district. So in 2 close games, Southwest beat Legacy. So they'll be they made the playoffs.
Yep.
And stuff. So last night we, for the first time, we took Legacy and Southwest and we went over to Judson ISD, to Judson High School, and Legacy played Wagner and Southwest played the defending state champion Judson Rockets in basketball. And you know, you go over there and we definitely did not win, but we grew. We, as adults, we found out, okay, that's what we need to figure out for our recruiting. This is what we need. This is what it looks like to be at the top. And so that was huge. Our kids competed well. Our coaches did a great job. Legacy really played well, I thought, too. And then, I mean, the Judson they had some dudes playing as well. Like their starting defense was playing basketball. I mean, they had one dunking it in warm-ups and stuff like that, and unified basketball and everything. So we looked down and we're like, okay, so we're gonna have to recruit a little bit different athlete if we're gonna do some of that with our partners. But that's the idea of unified, is like, how are we competing? You know what I mean? Now the beauty of unified was, you know, Judson was far better than us, but there was a good competitive spirit, but nobody was truly embarrassed.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a whole lot of showboating and things like that. It was really for those athletes to enjoy the competition
get the
as well
experience,
that they have and stuff like that. So that was really neat. Learned a lot. The playoff game is Monday evening at Edgewood. I don't know the specific time right now, but it's at the Edgewood Athletic Center over on Eldridge off of 90 on the Intercity West side for Edgewood ISD, and playing that on Monday night against Judson, and the winner goes to the regional, to regionals against the winner of Brownsville, I think it is, and stuff. So that'll be pretty neat. So they did a great job, and on to a unified track, and that's gonna be a good time.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yep.
Just
so
another
learning.
Another sport added to the list for unified.
Mhm.
That's awesome. And so, from unified, they're going to is it regionals now, right? Or
So this the Dragons are going to the area round.
area round, okay?
Yep.
Because I know you want to give a shout out to also. I know we have regional swimming coming up, and then you mentioned something about regionals with our powerlifting teams. So talk to me a little bit about those two.
So the big one is regional swim. We're hosting the region
at the Aquatic Center.
The Region 7 swim meet. Top 2 go to state.
Wow.
And so hosting that, big deal with that. Excited about that, but even more excited that we have multiple swimmers who are in the top 6 to 8 in the region.
Wow.
Which means they take 16 to finals, but that other 8 is like you swim that day, but you're not really, you're competing, but even if you win it, you're not going to state.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the top 8, when you get into that race, that means you're in the race with an opportunity
to go to state.
And I've only been a part of probably 2 of those, 1 or 2 of those. James Nino was the last one in Corpus. I think he got 3rd and stuff. And so we have 2 or 3 or 4 kids that are in the top that are in the top 6 to 8 in the currently going in. Now they have to do it in prelims and they have to do all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But we haven't had that. You know what I mean? And so I think we'll have a shot at a relay or 2 making the real, I say the real, but making the top 8 and everything. So, and then obviously we have Aiden, and so Aiden is he should be diving on Thursday afternoon and then on Saturday morning.
Gotcha.
So he'll do 8 dives on Friday, and then he'll do 8 dives on Friday, 3 dives on Saturday. Has to be in the top 3 to go to state. I think he's sitting 1 or 2 right now in the region. So I think last year he got 9th at state, just missed going to the finals. And so this year he's looking to get a score this week that will automatically qualify him for nationals.
Wow.
In AAU, like for the country.
Sure.
And stuff, but if he gets a good enough score, it's expected that he's going to go to state. Like those plans are already made. But
he's a
getting
junior?
there and seeing what he getting that top 3, that top 6 at the state diving meet is really what we're doing.
I believe he's a junior, right?
He's a junior.
Last year was his first as a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, man, talk about setting expectations early, Aiden. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So, I mean, some of that investment come into fruition.
Absolutely.
And like we've always said, so good luck to all of our swimmers. Good luck, really get in there and really get after it. And good luck to Aiden diving. And knowing the same thing, we don't have regionals this week, but in powerlifting, kind of shifting it over, like you said, is they have to qualify. On the girls' side, they qualify either you go equipped or unequipped. Equipped is you have a bench shirt, you can wrap your knees, all that kind of stuff. Unequipped is just like me and you go into the weight room. Let's see what you can do. Which personally, I think that's the only way that should be doing it. But anyway, that's a different story.
I was like,
no, I'm not gonna stay off that trip. But
why is that?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sitting here looking like, no, you got that kind of time.
The clock is moving,
So anyway, so you can do that. So on the girls' side, they have qualifying marks that you can get to regionals, and then from regionals, they have qualifying marks to state, but you can get to the top. If you're in the top 6, I think, something like that, 6 or 8, then you can go to state as well. And so we already got Sophie, who went to state last year, is already qualified. We may have a couple other ones that I don't know about right now. On the boys' side, you have to go to regionals. You have to first be – there's not qualifiers. You have to place in the top 12 of your weight class. So you can be number 10 one week, and then somebody comes in and enters a new one that was verified and all that kind of stuff. Then you can be bounced.
Wow.
So that's a constant checking it out and stuff like that. Alex at Legacy he got second. He placed last year at State. He's already ready for regionals. Got a few others at Legacy that are ready for regionals. Got some boys at Southwest that are getting ready for regionals. Congratulations goes out to the Dragon boys and the Titan boys powerlifting teams. They were at Holy Cross last night. The Titans got third as a team, and the Dragons won the whole thing.
Wow.
And stuff like that. Roland Segovia got first in his weight class. Jacob Pettis at Legacy also got first. Had a couple of firsts at Southwest, and so really excited for those guys. Big things in powerlifting, but that's a couple of weeks away. The state meet is in this for the boys is right when we get back from spring break, and the girls' state meet is during spring break.
Oh man.
Yep. Good times. Yep.
Make sure you're eating your protein and lifting those weights during spring break.
Get some sleep, drink some water.
That's right. Well, hey, do you have anybody you want to shout out for Warriors of the Week, sir?
Yeah, our Warriors of the Week is the tennis team both tennis teams. We went fire and armor tennis back at it again.
They said they say you guys are getting too excited talking about soccer. Don't forget
remember
we're competing every year for district championships together.
Yeah, exactly. So we had at Southwest I want to say a lot about Roy Cruz. Roy Cruz is a big guy in student leaders. He's a Dragon warrior, but he's also he's kind of trying to be the new James Gonzalez in that he is the announcer for all of our games, basketball games as well.
Nice.
But great. He swims, he plays water polo, plays tennis.
You never let me announce.
Does all of that kind of stuff.
You never let me announce, dude. I would have been an incredible.
You know what? That is true.
I would have been.
I have
especially for the basketball
because
games,
you were 1,000%.
Yeah, we never had.
Why don't you do it now?
Listen, that's a conversation for another time. Why do they need to go unequipped for weightlifting? Well, hey,
but
shout out to
Roy Cruz.
Yeah, shout out to Roy.
Dragon Warrior of the Week. Excited for him, and then on the Legacy side, also a young up and coming athlete for the one of those that is in the Legacy Titan. What would you say?
Tennis?
Yeah, but I know what it is. I'm trying to be like the
dynasty,
the
dynasty.
Thank you, the Legacy Titan tennis dynasty. And so
that's
the young up and comer. Good Lord!
I'll tell you what, boy, man. I love watching this man try to read a book.
It is three. It's
a lot. The Legacy Titan up and comer in the dynasty. I'm telling you,
I feel like if one of those guys.
Set it up.
I feel like one of those guys in the feudal system where they were like jousting, and the dude gets up there and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that guy. Anyway,
he is reading
the Titan Warrior of the Week
Roman
from
script.
the Tennessee. Now they're in Tennessee.
On the Titan Tennessee
tennis.
Gotcha. The Southwest
Titan,
Legacy.
Titan Tennis.
That's
a lot of T's.
Titan Dynasty.
All right.
Up and comer. You're setting this up.
His name is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Standing at.
This is the Royal Rumble right now.
Ian Macias.
Yes.
Ian Macias was the Titan Warrior of the Week from the Titan Tennis Team Dynasty, the defending two-time district champion Titan Tennis Team. Ian Macias is the Titan Warrior of the Week.
Ian and his parents tuned out 2 minutes ago because they go, I guess it's not you. I don't know who they're talking. They haven't got to it. I guess that's not going to be you.
You know what? I'll tell you a story. That so many Titan tennis players have won it. They've gone to betting on who's the next one.
That's how you encourage.
They're like, Coach, I already know that. I already know Mark is number 17, so I'm going Mark. And it's like, I'll bet you. And he's like, and they're like, okay, it's that. And it's like, Ian. Oh, that was my next guess.
That's the next guess. Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
They're doing a great job, and really appreciate them, those coaches, and everything else like that. And one last thing I think that I've seen that we need to shout out to is Women's Sports Day. I think was yesterday or the day before that, and really have some great women coaches, leaders.
Yep.
Starting from Melanie Henson, our assistant athletic director, Kristen Liberdoni, our assistant athletic director of aquatics, Sandra Hernandez, our assistant athletic director, also our softball coach, and all of them. You got Lisa Alvarez, our coordinator, and Jennifer Bocanegra, our coordinator, both high schools, but really all of them, and such great leaders for our girls. Really appreciate all of them, and all of the things that they do for our athletic program, and just shout out. That's pretty cool.
We appreciate all of you, and we appreciate you for tuning in to Scoreboard every week with us. It's been a very, very fun journey, and like we said, this
took us 5 minutes to say Titan Warrior of the Week, but
Yeah, hey, listen, well, we're here now, all right? This is covering Southwest ISD athletics, not the Tennessee Titans, but we appreciate you for tuning in. I'm Brandon Medina. That's Peter Wagner, and as always, we are Southwest.